you guys. Hey, David, are you ready? Ready. All right, here we go. I'm gonna light it. Now, this is such a big deal. We thought we'd bring one of the biggest deal makers in the world and the biggest reality television show having person out there. Here he is, Mr. Donald Trump from New York.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, kids. Every project I've taken on in my life has been big, and this stunt is big. I've also taken a lot of risks, and this stunt is risky. And since I don't like to waste time, I travel as fast as I can, and this stunt is fast. So let me say now, David Smith Jr., the bullet, you're fired.
Oh, 1 second. If you're under the age of 30, I'm sure you've seen the Kids' Choice Awards. I know I did, and I didn't even have a TV in my house growing up. I was just able to somehow watch it because we always happen to be in a hotel because it always airs during spring break. 1 second, we're gonna fix the camera real quick. Let's start from the beginning. The Kids' Choice Awards got its start in 1987 as the Big Ballot, a way to honor kids' opinions about movies and TV. Essentially a spin-off special of the popular sketch show You Can't Do That on Television, the ceremony was a collection of pre-recorded clips, as opposed to the live format it would adopt later on. Another element that the Big Ballot borrowed was the sliming of its participants, with the stunt being introduced on You Can't Do That on Television, whenever a cast member said the catchphrase, I don't know. The first award show, which received sponsorship from Bonkers Fruit Chew and Post cereals, was an overall success. After Nickelodeon was purchased by Viacom, executives were prompted to make the show similar to an award show on one of their other channels, MTV's Music Video Awards. Now, let's pause for a moment and talk about how profitable televised events are for networks. Television networks currently pay the NFL $1 billion a year each for broadcasting rights of their games. NBC has a $7.75 billion contract with the International Olympics Committee to exclusively air the next 6 Olympic Games. While these numbers may initially seem outrageous, one must consider that the top 3 rates for commercial airtime are all during football games. And don't even get me started on Super Bowl ads, which famously reach $5 million price tags for 30 seconds of commercial.
These networks also benefit by being able to run ads for their own original programming to give sports viewers something else to tune into when the sports aren't playing.
Not only that, but the time slot directly preceding the game is also highly lucrative. For example, 23 million people stuck around after Super Bowl 33 to view the pilot episode of Family Guy. Granted, that was only 25% of the 86 million people who watched the entire game, but that's still a massive audience size. Other shows that premiered after the Super Bowl include American Dad, 24 Legacy, The Wonder Years, Undercover Boss, and The Masked Singer. Now, what do you do if you want some of that sweet, sweet event revenue, but can't pay those sweet, sweet event broadcasting rights? You create your own event, of course. Though not as big as sports championships, the Oscars' 30 million viewers is nothing to scoff at. And that was a bad year. It's estimated that a 30-second commercial during the Academy Awards will set you back a cool $2.5 million. Not having to pay broadcasting rights isn't the only reason why creating your own award show works in your favor. In fact, you also get to decide who gets nominated. Now, I'm not saying there's some Russian-style ballot box stuffing going on, only that the way Nickelodeon's system is set up works in their favor. Let's take a look. Awards have always been decided by, well, Kids' Choice. In the past, you had to call a phone line or send in physical ballots, which could be picked up at participating Pizza Hut locations, another clever brand deal. However, recent polls have been conducted online or through Nickelodeon's official app. So what you're saying is that Nickelodeon viewers see their favorite Nickelodeon show nominated on Nickelodeon and have to go to nick.com to vote for it? Interesting. That's kind of like releasing a poll saying 95% of all Fox News visitors believe that Fox News is a credible news source. In other words, it's laughable when anything else wins because the audience being surveyed largely skews to Nickelodeon fans. There's a reason why SpongeBob SquarePants holds a record 16 Kids' Choice Awards. In fact, in the history of the show, Nickelodeon has won 2/3 of all the awards it nominated itself for. And this doesn't even take into account the many other properties owned by its parent company, Viacom.
Promoting your own shows by giving them awards is one thing, but do people actually watch the ceremony?
Good question. Viewership on Nickelodeon peaked in 2009 with 7.7 million viewers, more than the Tonys that year. Since then, traditional viewership has been declining, and Nickelodeon has been forced to turn to alternative methods to get eyes on the show, including airing a rerun of the show the following weekend and simultaneous broadcastings on their sister channels, Teen Nick and Nicktoons. This all culminated in the 2016 awards being broadcast on further channels owned by Viacom, CMT, and TV Land. I wish I could see the face of the person that tuned into country music TV and saw this. In an attempt to adapt with the times, Nickelodeon began streaming the show for free on their website. And while viewership is not what it once was, the event still seems extremely lucrative for the company. Electronic ballots submitted still reach the tens of millions, meaning Nickelodeon is drawing precious web traffic to their website.
Emphasis on the internet can be seen in Nickelodeon's push to incorporate more social media stars in their show. This includes DJ Khaled being the host of the most recent award show, and brand deals featuring JoJo Siwa and Ryan Plays Toys. Who's that? Anyway, Nickelodeon has noticed that more and more kids are watching shows that they can see for free on YouTube, and less are viewing actual television that requires a paid cable service.
Like it or not, the Kids' Choice Awards have grown to become part of Nickelodeon's global brand, with 10 versions of the show being produced worldwide. My personal favorite is Australia, where their categories tend to be rather questionable for a children's show. Greatest Pash, Fave Old Fart, and Hottest Hottie show the brand is willing to let their overseas channels tailor the format to fit their culture, even if it does turn out a little inappropriate.
Let's review. Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards is an event show that doesn't need to pay broadcasting rights and draws in viewers. It actually also draws in viewers to its website, increasing ad revenue as well as its television channels. Because of its survey sample, it's able to give out awards to its own shows and premiere new properties almost directly after the ceremony. In fact, it also latches onto Nickelodeon's worldwide brand, able to strengthen and change the way you view Slime forever. To put it simply, it's a smart business move.